the gods walked the earth, when Mary pushed up 2 years at the North Island, you were already in a cave. Which is the 35?
Oh, yes. I could tell you a story. This one time.
Sorry to interrupt, but we really love a story to tell, so don't mind.
You carry on my story. I'll finish my earlies.
The 25 looked after the local evening. For themselves, looked after the land and sea around the pond. 35 helped his people in times of war. And in times of peace. In times of hardship. And in times of plenty. The 25 was loved by his people. They named him Nangopono, loyal heart, and he always lived up to his name. Soon things were to change. Strangers arrived in Aotearoa and visited the park. They had different speech and different customs. To see if the visitors with friend or enemy, a forfeiting took place. It went something like this. This. We and Mary were in the porch with the routine. The first breaks down and often such as burning. If visitors picked up the offering, they was allowed into the park. The second and third warrior would lead the visitors toward the marae, all the time forming movements to show their strength and skill with their weapons. When outside the marae, a karanga or call would be made by one of the female iwi to tell of the new arrivals and welcome them. Next would have come speeches given by important members of the tribe. This would be followed by songs of welcome. Finally, a hornbeat will take place. This involves touching of noses and is a Maori the traditional Maori welcome. Later in the day, food would be cooked in an underground oven called a hami and shared with the now welcome visitors. However, these changing times were not all good for the Māori, for the strange folk who were known as Pakeha because of their white skin also brought guns with them, and were not at all friendly. There was much fighting between both Pakeha and Maori, and between the Maori themselves that differed in power and land. For the next 200 years, Nangopono saw his people become fewer and fewer. Deciding to not be intended, the fishing was not being done, and the whare were all falling down. Before long, there was nobody in the park. It was empty. Nangopono was alone. No one needed Nangopono. So he slept. He slept and slept. He slept
for weeks and months and years. He did not see the machines come. He did not see them building concrete buildings. He didn't see the aeroplanes taking off and landing on the runway below his cave next to the sea. Still, Namo slept.
Meanwhile, down below, up at the booth, the Earth Mother was feeding her baby son, Romoko. And did you also know that when Romoko burst, there was an earthquake? Well, one day, Romoko did an enormous burst. The earth trembled. Hillside fell down. And Tangaroa, god of the sea, sent a huge wave which destroyed the airport and all the planes. Now go fall asleep. You see, I never can sleep forever, except for watching. Time went by.
Then one day, it happened. Namo woke up. What woke him was the sound of the karanga calling to him, calling to Namo Pono. He looked down from his cave and saw a pa.
People were there again. His people, his very own people. They needed you. And they remembered you, Mr. Tiny Cloud.
They did, and I can tell you, I was as happy as a tiny cloud at toy shop.
Namo Pono was not forgotten Tangbut anymore. Maori order.